It's an old taste, but it's still quite furious.
Buckle down.
So of all the stuff going on with Fast and Furious 7 making a butt ton of money and everyone having kind of a discussion of which is the best Fast and Furious movie, I decided to actually rewatch a few of these. So we're going to start off with obviously the first one. Oh my god, that's a full screen edition. What was I thinking? So we're going to talk about the first Fast and Furious movie. Now, I actually enjoyed this movie quite a bit. Really, I actually owned it on VHS first, then I owned it on DVD. The movie was cool with all its car chases and all the inward look into the car when it's like... But the thing that I actually kind of underappreciated then, which I sort of appreciate now, is actually the characters were actually slightly deeper than what you would expect out of a Rob Cohen movie. If you're wondering who that guy is, he was the pizza dude in the first film. He's also proceeded to make shit every single time after this movie. So the first Fast and the Furious movie was about Paul Walker being an undercover cop getting into Toretto's gang. Funny thing is, I never remembered how Jordan Brewster and Paul Walker met, how the characters met. And it was because of that sandwich shop, and I totally forgot they were selling sandwiches out of that place. No one likes the tuna here, bro. First film is actually pretty decent. It's not like a piece of garbage. It plays out quite standard, but it has some actually decent elements. And for an undercover story, it's not bad. We're not talking Donnie Brasco here, but it's still really interesting to see the bond between Toretto and Brian O'Connor, and see how, you know, despite the fact that they're on other sides of the field, they have this mutual respect for each other. And then when the two come clashing heads, there still is that respect. And it's really interesting to see how this series has changed from this original street racer business to the superhero-like action extravaganza that they are now. And what's really interesting too is, my god, going back to 2001, we got what? Floppy disks, we got all the frickin' late 90s cars. And for some reason, it always reminds me of my friends, especially my car friends, who love Need for Speed Underground. Always talking about their tuner cars, always double clutching. Oh wait, man, you can't play these games unless you're using manual. So watching this movie actually brings back a lot more memories than just the film itself. It brings a lot of memories back from when I was in grade school and going into high school. I like this movie. In comparison to the recent three, it doesn't stand, but it still was a really cool look at these characters and seeing them for the first time. Each character had an individual detail. Mind you, most of them were small, but they still had a somewhat interesting backstory to them. Like Jesse being really smart, but he was ADD, and the only thing that could calm him down was just talking about cars. Or how Dominic Toretto had beat up a guy who killed his dad. But there are some kind of obvious issues. The villainous characters aren't really that great. There's a lot of stereotypes in this movie. And the thing is, it's very dated now. That's the only problem. Like, at the time, it was pretty cool, but it obviously had some stereotypes and some cheesy factor. There was also some CG stuff for the car scenes that were just kind of really awkward. But I still say that it was a really good entry. And I'm still amazed that this movie, which is almost 15 years old, has held for so long. So my final review for Fast and Furious, the first film, is a 4 out of 7. It's a really good watch. Sure, there are some cheesy moments, sure, there are some stereotype moments, and it doesn't really hold up to today's standards, especially with the newest films. But it's still a really good first entry, and I was surprised with how decent the characters were. As simplistic as they were still kind of interesting, and it's really crazy to see how young everyone is in that movie. But one of the other reasons why it gets a low rating is I can't excuse half that crap music that's in there. Got freaking Limp Bizkit in there, really? Ugh, that's something I don't miss about the early 2000s. Anyway, guys, we'll continue on with Too Fast, Too Furious in the next video. See you guys next time.
Buckle down.